Hello and welcome to today's video. For today we are in Upland, California at the ACL West Conference number 2, The Last Ride. Today we got a doubles match for you, but before we get into it I want to thank my sponsor, Black Sheep Baggers. If you need bags, boards, or apparel, head over to blacksheepbaggers.com and use code BRIZ10 for 10% off. Now with that being said, let's head into the video. Heading into the game, my opponent's going to be starting us off here. First bag, he goes off the back, so this already gives me an opportunity to get out and get ahead. I'm going to go ahead and sink my first bag. He's going to go and follow me up, so I just got to try to make all my bags and apply some pressure, so maybe he'll miss again. But I end up coming up short, which forces him out and off the back again. So for my next shot, I'm just going to try to clean this up, because I know I can get 6 if I make all 4 bags. Pretty much in, they're both hanging on the hole, so if they get tapped, they'll fall. He's going to go ahead and just collect it. So I got to try to put my last bag in here so I can gain 6. And for the last bag, I'm going to go up 6 points starting out the game. So my partner's going to have first shot here. And for his first bag, he's going to come up short, blocking off the hole. So for the opponent's first bag, he's just going to run into it, bumping my partner's in. My partner's going to try to sneak around, but I got hung up on the edge of the hole, which is fine because that bag is pretty much going to go. The opponent's going to run into it and jam it. So then my partner tries to go through, but nothing falls just yet. The opponent's going to go ahead and clean some up. My partner's going to slide his last bag in, sitting on a 10. The opponent's sitting on a 9, so we need a miss here. Lucky for us, the opponent runs into the bag for a 10-10 wash. Going into the third round, I'm going to have first shot. So for my first shot, I end up coming up short, blocking off the hole, which is perfect because we know what happened last time, which forced him to go out and back off again. So I'm going to take a step out and try to leave my block there because I know it's pretty effective. But I end up bouncing off it and kind of bullying it out of the way. So for the opponent's next shot, he should be able to just slide this up the middle and in. But he runs into my bag. So right now, I could just try to sneak around this. But I'm going to go up, trying to sink it. And I end up hitting it, clipping his bag closer to the hole. So for the opponent's next bag, he should just go right through this. He ends up collecting it, sitting on a 6. So for my next shot, I try to go in, but I miss off to the left, sitting on an 8, so the opponent can pick up 1 here. And for his final and last bag, he's going to go up the middle and collect 1 point. So now the bags are back on the other side, and the opponent's going to have first shot. He's going to go ahead and slide his first bag in. My partner's going to come up a little bit short, kind of blocking his own lane. So the opponent should be able to sneak around this, but ends up running into the bag. So my partner goes for a cut shot. It ends up rolling and sitting in front of the hole. So the opponent's going to end up bumping it in, giving us the advantage here. My partner's going to take a step out and probably try to cut this in. He ends up trying to collect, but it gets the bag to still sit on the hole, which pretty much will go if it gets tapped. The opponent ends up hitting it. It gets caught up for a second, but then they end up falling in. So for my partner's last and final shot, he tries to cut it, but ends up rolling over the hole. So we're still going to gain 2. Heading into the 5th round, I know we got to keep the gas on here. So for my first shot, I end up coming up short, blocking off my own side, but I know I can collect that. The opponent ends up running into it, but rolling over. So for my next shot, I'm going to try to push through here. And I go ahead and collect it, sitting on a 6. For the opponent's next shot, he's going to follow me up and slide it in, tying it up. So I know I just got to be in here. It's going to end up dripping in, putting me on a 9. The opponent's going to make his next bag, so I got to be in here to try to get a 12. But I end up missing off to the left, giving the opponent an opportunity to pick up 2. And for his last and final shot, he ends up tapping mine, but ends up sliding in without it to pick up 2. Going into the next round, we're still up by 5. The opponent's going to have first shot, and for his first shot, he ends up sinking it. So for my partner's first shot, he's going to go ahead and miss off to the right, but he still could collect that with a cut shot. So for the opponent's next shot, he ends up coming up short, blocking off the hole. My partner's just going to try to push through, ends up only pushing the opponent's bag. The opponent's going to once again block. My partner's going to try to push through, but bounces off to the left. So once again, the opposing team can get some points here. He ends up kind of up short, blocking off the lane. So my partner goes airmail and hits it to only give up 2. Now we're only up by 3, so we got to get some more points to apply some pressure. For the opponent's first shot, he's going to go ahead and sink it. So for my first bag, I end up trying to block, but I miss off to the left. But I know I can collect this. The opponent's going to sink his next bag. So I'm going to go ahead and step out and go after his bag right away so he can't bully it. I end up getting a piece of it, but it hangs up on the side, pretty much in the hole at this point. So for the opponent's next bag, he's going to go up the middle, ends up tapping our bags and making them fall. So for my third shot, I'm just going to go ahead and try to reblock, try to force the opponent to do something here, maybe miss the bag. He's asking his partner what he should do. His partner's saying go up and go for an airmail, trying to sit on a 10 here. The opponent goes up, comes up short, hitting his bag in, sitting on a 10. So I see an opportunity for some points, so I'm going to flip it to fast side and just try to slide it in here. But I am going off the back, making the opponent sit on a 9, so they're still going to grab 2. Going into round 8, the opponent's going to have first shot here. And for his first shot, he ends up missing off to the left. This gives us an opportunity to get some points. My partner's going to go up the middle and slide it in, kind of wonky, but it fell. The opponent's going to miss off to the right. So now my partner's going to sink his second bag, applying some pressure here. The opponent's going to go ahead and sink his third bag. So my partner should try to go in here. And he ends up coming up short, blocking off the hole. So the opponent's going to ask his partner what he should do. His partner tells him to go up. And so for his last and final shot, he's going to try to grab this, but ends up missing off to the right, sitting on a 5. So now my partner's got to try to collect to get some points. He ends up just bumping in for a 10-5 finish to pick up 5. So I'm going to try to keep the momentum going here, but I end up missing off to the left with my first bag. And for the opponent's first bag, he's going to go ahead and slide it in. So now I got to try to be in here, and I end up sliding my second bag in. For the opponent's next bag, he's going to end up following me up. So I pretty much just got to try to put all my bags in here, try to limit damage if he gets a 4-bagger. For my next shot, I end up sliding it in. For the opponent's next shot, he's sitting on a 9, so I got to be in here in case he makes it. For my last and final bag, I end up sliding it in. Just now, I hope that the opponent misses. And for his last shot, he's going to go ahead and slide it in to pick up 2 more. So now the opponent's going to have first bag back. And for his first shot, he's going to go ahead and slide it right on in. For my partner's first bag, he's going to end up following him up. For the opponent's next shot, he's just going to slide it in once again, grabs the hole. My partner ends up missing off to the left, but he could try to finish up with a 10 to try to limit damage here. The opponent's going to go ahead and slide his next bag in. So for my partner's third shot, he's going to go ahead and find the hole. The opponent's last and final bag. He ends up coming up short, luckily. So this is an opportunity to wash. My partner ends up sneaking it in for a 10-10 wash. Heading into round 11, we're still up by 4. The opponent's going to have first shot, but he ends up coming up short, blocking off the hole. So I'm just going to try to push through here. I end up just collecting it and following it up. For the opponent's next shot, he ends up front boarding. So now I know I'm going to take my time, let him think about it. Now I'm just going to play it slow here. So for my second shot, I'm going to try to slide it in, but I come up short, blocking off the hole, which is good for me. So for the opponent's next shot, he's going to try to just push through here. He ends up collecting and following in. So once again, I'm going to play it a little bit slower here, take my time, and for my third shot, I end up just sliding it in. So for the opponent's last and final bag, he's got to be in here, but he ends up missing off to the left, so this is an opportunity for me to pick up 5. And for my last and final bag, I end up sliding it in for a 12-7 finish to pick up 5. So now we're sitting on 18, looking pretty good. My partner's first shot, he ends up coming up short and blocking off the hole. For the opponent's first shot, he's going to try to push through, ends up bouncing off and in. My partner tries to collect, but ends up missing off to the right. It's still hanging in the hole, so it should go. The opponent ends up blocking it off. So my partner just sneaks one around and in. The opponent's going to go ahead and slide his next bag in. My partner once again just slides it in around his block. And the opponent is going to finish up with a 10 for a 10-10 wash. Hopefully I can close it out this round. I'm going to go ahead and have first shot. For my first shot, I end up coming up short, pretty much hanging in the hole, so it should be collected. The opponent ends up bouncing to the back of the hole, so I know his bag's out of play. So for my next shot, I'm just going to try to push through here. I end up tapping it in, but coming up short. The opponent's going to go ahead and slide his next bag in. So I'm going to take a step out and go after this. I'm going to go ahead and flip it to fast side, trying to collect. And I end up grabbing it and dragging it in. So the opponent's basically got to have his next bag in here. And for his third shot, he ends up sliding it in. I really want to go for the and one here to try to close it out, but I know the safe play is just to go in. I end up sinking my last bag, so it forces the opponent once again having to be in here. He ends up dropping it in for a 12-10 finish, so we pick up 2. Now we're sitting on a 20, and we got first shot. For my partner's first shot, he's going to go ahead and come up short, blocking off the hole. For the opponent's first shot, he's just going to go ahead and reblock. So for my partner's second shot, he goes up and hits the airmail, applying some pressure. For the opponent's next shot, he's going to go up and he misses off the back. So for my partner's third shot, he ends up hitting the pile and pushing one of his bags in. The opponent's going to go ahead and try to sneak around this, but gets caught up. So my partner's just going to go ahead and block off the pile, forcing the opponent to go up. So for his last and final shot, he goes up, but off the back. So we win the game 26-9. This was actually a really good game for me and my partner. I shot a 10.14 PPR, a 0.86 DPR, 22 bags in, 5 bags on, and 1 bag off, 28 bags total thrown, 7 rounds, and 3 4-baggers. This is definitely our best game of the day. That's going to wrap it up. I want to thank my sponsors one more time, Black Sheep Baggers. If you need bags, boards, or apparel, head over to blacksheepbaggers.com and use code BRIZ10 for 10% off. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.